Hey guys, welcome to another top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 favourite MGM movies. This year marks MGM's 100th anniversary, and to celebrate their centennial, I thought I could talk about my favourite films from the studio. They released so many great films over the years, so these are just my personal 10 favourites. So let's get to it. And before top 10 list, you gotta have your honourable mentions. So my honourable mentions are No Time to Die, Skyfall, GoldenEye, License to Kill, Gone with the Wind, Poltergeist, The Philadelphia Story, 2001: A Space Odyssey, A Christmas Story, Child's Play 1988 version, Ronin, An American in Paris, and Meet Me in St. Louis. All good films, just couldn't make the top 10 list. But what did make my top 10 was my number 10, which is the movie Rainman. Talked a lot about this movie in my favourite Tom Cruise movies list, so I don't need to talk much about it other than that Dustin Hoffman did win the Oscar for this movie. He totally deserved it. Tom Cruise is solid in it too, as his brother. It's a great story about caring about your brother as well. Hans Zimmer's score is also really good, so check it out if you haven't yet. Number 9 is Get Shorty. Get Shorty is a really kick-ass gangster comedy movie. John Travolta, Gene Hackman, Danny DeVito, and Rene Russo are all solid in this film. It has a clever story about a mobster loan shark who wants to get involved with the movie industry. Great film about the mafia as well, and I love this movie. Number 8 is Red Dawn. Red Dawn is a really clever, great, cheesy 80s action movie about this group of teenagers known as the Wolverines fighting against the Soviets in a fictional World War III. Patrick Swayze, Leah Thompson, Charlie Sheen, and Jennifer Grey are all in this movie, all really good. The action is cheesy at best, and it's a good time. Number 7 is one of the most underrated animated films ever, The Secret of NIMH. Easily my favourite Don Bluth animated film, with brilliant characters. I love its dark tone. The designs of the characters are great, especially the owl. Really good story as well about this mouse called Mrs. Brisby, who wants to save her family when moving. And again, definitely one of the most underrated animated films that if I were to ask anyone who grew up in the 80s, I'd ask them, have you seen The Secret of NIMH? Some of them might not have seen or even heard of it, but they should, because it's a brilliant film. Coming number 6 is one of my favourite Alfred Hitchcock films, North by Northwest. Great movie. Cary Grant is brilliant in this film. There's a lot of great action scenes, such as, the iconic airplane scene, and it does often take place on a train as well. Even Mary Saint is good in this film too. It's very well shot, very well directed, and yeah, I love North by Northwest. Number 5 is Singing in the Rain. Singing in the rain. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Brilliant musical film. Gene Kelly and Debbie Reynolds are so good in this film as well. Love the characters, the dance numbers, the musical numbers. There's great comedy. Also a great story about some fictional movie stars who are transitioning from the silent to the talkies, which when one of their films is being remade as a musical. Such a clever idea. I love Singing in the Rain. Who doesn't? Anyways, coming number 4 is that film right there, Casino Royale. Casino Royale is my favourite James Bond movie. I think it's the best in my opinion. Daniel Craig is also my favourite James Bond. Monica Campbell did a great job directing this one. Eva Green is also really good there as one of my favourite Bond girls. I love Mads Mikkelsen as the villain. What's his name? The Chief. Yeah, that's right, the Chief. The action is amazing. I think the casino scenes are really good. And overall, I just love everything about this movie. Anyways, number 3 is an epic movie called BenHur. Definitely one of my favourite epic movies and one of my favourite religious movies as well. The silent version from the 1920s is good, but this one's even greater. It won 11 Academy Awards, which proves that. I think the chariot race scene is amazing and iconic. Charlton Heston gives an excellent performance as Judah Ben-Hur. Everything else about it is great too. The story, the cinematography, for production, costumes, lighting. It may be over 3 hours long, but it's still amazing to watch, so I love BenHur. Coming number 2 is the Rocky movies. Got a poster of Rocky right there. Going with all of them, including the Creed films as well, because most of them were MGM, and I love both the Rocky and the Creed films as well. It's one of my favourite movie franchises. I think Sylvester Stallone gives his best performances Rocky Balboa. I like how he also wrote and directed most of them. The boxing scenes are unique. And overall, I'm a huge fan of this franchise. Do-do-do, 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 gonna fly now. But anyways, number 1 is The Wizard of Oz. We're off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz, somewhere over the rainbow way. Up high. Anyways, easily my favourite MGM movie, and what do I need to say about it that hasn't been said already? It's a childhood classic for many generations. It's one of the greatest films of all time for a reason. It's a great fantasy film with timeless musical numbers, memorable characters, and amazing costumes and production, and that's it. So yeah, those are my top 10 favourite MGM movies. So what are your top 10 favourite MGM movies? Tell me down in the comments, and thanks for watching, and may the force be with you.